Hey everybody, this is DJ Russ from Squawk Box Sound. Today we are reviewing the Rane 7212 combo. And you may think to yourself, okay, you know what, I don't know if I need new turntables. I don't know if I can make that jump from controller to turntables. And I'm here to tell you that it's a game changer. The first thing you're going to notice, of course, is you have no arm, no needle that you have to deal with. You're not going to have to spend $80 to $130 to replace a needle, because what you have here is you have a control vinyl, and your control vinyl has a quick release. You can actually customize these, and you just take any vinyl that you want, drill 6mm holes into them, replace this, and you have your own custom vinyl. Well, one of the things that I did not like was the slip mats that came with the Ranes. They were a little too grabby for my taste, so I switched them out for the DJ Qbert ones. This just clips right into place, and that is what you're going to use to control. The great thing about this is you have two speeds. You have, two torques. You have a classic torque, which is more like an old school turntable, and you have a high torque, which is like a modern turntable. I like mine on high. You do have two speeds. You have 33 RPM and 45 RPM. You have your pitch range that you can switch from 8%, 16%, 50%. And if you are jumping from one laptop to another laptop, you can actually, it will tell you, hey, you know what, you're too far to the right, go to the left, or you're too far to the left, go to the right, to get you back to where you need to be to sync up. In your Q mode, you have two functions. You have a scrolling function, so you can go from the front to the end of your song, and you have a Q mode function, so if you have Q points set in up to 8, you can actually just go straight to certain cues. If you are using a mixer that has multiple decks, you can assign which deck it's going to be. Now, this is great. You can turn your motor on, you can turn your motor off. If you want to get that classic wind down, instead of hitting the stop button, you turn your motor off and it will wind down. What I really like, though, is what makes these amazing is your battle mixer. The Rane 72 is a game changer for me because it allows me to do everything that I normally do in Serato right on this. If I need to put a song in prep, if I need to open my prep folder, if I want to switch to go from different folders, different crates, all of that is right here. My effects are right here. It even has a touch screen. One of the things that has just blown me away is how intuitive and how simple it is. Yeah, you do need to read through your manual because it will give all your hints and tips right there. And you do need to stay up on your drivers because they will make some changes from the beginning to now. I mean, for example, when these first came out, they came out with an Allen wrench, and now they have a quick release. I'm glad that I got a version that had a quick release. Speaking of that, Rane has actually come up with new control vinyls that instead of the disc feel are little tiny bumps similar to what you have on basketballs, so that you can get better grip and you can have better control of your vinyl when you are scratching and mixing. Here, right in here, you have one of the things that I really love about this is split Q. So if I don't have a pair of monitors facing back at me so I can hear my mix and I can hear the house and hear what I'm queuing up, you have a split Q, which gives you a left side and a right side so that you actually only hear the Q in one ear and you only hear what's going out to your mains to the house in another. That, for me, has helped me so I don't have to actually bring a monitor with me if I'm playing smaller events where the speakers are farther away, where I'm not hearing my sound in time. One of the things I do like about it is, you have your normal echo in out effect, and it makes sure that it's lit up to tell you, hey, this is going on. But in your cue, you have your cue button. It switches right over to pitch play. You have your auto loop that switches over to manual loop. You have your roll or your FX. With your FX, your pad effects, you have your V break, you have your spin, you have gate, and you have echo, and you can choose how much of that you want to use. You have your sampler, so you can put in, whether it's your air horn or whether it's your DJ drop or whatever you want, you can put your sampler in right in here, and you have 8 different samples that you can load. And then of course you have your slicer, and then you have your transport, which is your pitch bends and your timing bends. But the coolest thing, of course, is that you can customize that. You can go into your MIDI controls and you can set exactly what you want. Now, I like to use Flip, and I'll have, for example, I have the original version of Montel Jordan's This Is How We Do. And it says, this is how we do it. And then all of a sudden it stops and there's a break, and there's some guy walking and they're talking in the background. And instead of using a different version, I just made a flip where I go from the flip of This Is How We Do, that's my drop point, I jump to another point and goes right into the music. And on here, you can actually hit shift and roll, and boom, you are actually into your flip, which is fantastic because you really can do everything from here. As long as your crates are set up correctly, you can set your laptop away from you so you're not even looking at it. You have your waveforms, you have your library, everything you need is right here. In fact, if I need to play something off of my laptop as a sample, you actually have 2 mic inputs and a sampler level so that you can set your own samples. You even have a foot switch for those of you who like to do things on a foot switch, just switch over. You have this amazing Mag 3 tension adjustable crossfade that you can actually take this out, this unhooks, you can take this out and you can adjust your tension. Your effects, you can unscrew this, take these out, and turn them and rotate them a different direction as well. There are so much that I could spend all day just talking about what this can do, and I love it. I absolutely love it. For me, it's a game changer because I'd never used turntables before. I had always used controllers, and I didn't quite like the feel of scratching on it. It just, for whatever reason, it didn't work. And now that I've used these, going back to a controller kind of feels like I'm like a toy. There's, of course, it's not an NS7 or something else motorized. I was on the Pioneer SX2 and SX3, and that's what I was used to. And huge step up. Yes, it is a lot of money, but I feel like you should invest in yourself and you should invest in your craft. And if you are going to be the best out there, I feel like this is the future. I have set my mixing board up a little bit so that way I can see the waveforms look at a downward angle instead of staring at your computer or staring down at the ground if you're trying to mix. You have, of course, for those of you who are traditionalists, your controls have your markers so you can set your points, and you can do that, and you are not stuck in your head, stuck looking at a computer, but you actually can read the crowd and enjoy what you are doing and hear and see their reaction. So this is my review of the Rane 7212 combo. I probably didn't get everything There are 2 mic inputs, and there is the second mic input or the second mic controls are in the front. The other mic controls are right here. You do have a duck and an echo that you can turn on if you need it. Again, I could tell you and go on so much about what I love about this and go through every single feature, but I think you should experience it for yourself. Go to the store, test one out, and make that jump, because this is where it's at. This is DJ Russ from Squawk Box Sound. Hope you've enjoyed my tutorial and my review of what we have here, which is the Rane 7212 combo.